Latest football news, engaging debates,
and fascinating opinions.
Pitchside talk on IO Radio. So it's Burnley versus Leicester today, and for Burnley, Chris Wood could start after returning from a month-long injury as he came on as a substitute against Tottenham, and no more injuries to report for Burnley. But for Leicester, there's plenty of injuries. Harvey Barnes is now set to miss the next 6 weeks with a knee surgery after going off against Arsenal in the defeat on Sunday. Also, Johnny Evans has a calf problem as well and looks like he won't be starting as well. And Jamie Vardy is suffering with a sore groin as well. Piers, Leicester are being depleted here of players at the moment. I think they've got something mad out of injuries at the moment. So many players out. For Burnley, they came off that bad result against Tottenham here. This could be an interesting opportunity for them to possibly strike against Leicester.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good chance for Burnley, although they did get, dealt with by Tottenham, but Tottenham look like they're starting to, build some form back, and they had some, amazing players on the pitch and play really well. So for Burnley, I think a loss was on the cards there. Leicester, on the other hand, I think they were a bit demotivated from the loss in the Europa League. So coming up against Arsenal, who had just beaten Benfica and were on a high, I think it was understandable. Vardy didn't look great. They're missing key players. Obviously, he's now out as well himself. So I think this might be the start of Leicester going through a bit of a bad patch, to be honest. Obviously, Burnley would be a team that you'd like to think Leicester could get through, but you know what Burnley can do? They can be tricky customers sometimes and grab a point, and I think they will. I think Burnley are going to get a draw here, and I think it's going to end up being 1-1.
So it's Sheffield United versus Aston Villa today, and for Sheffield United, no fresh injuries to report from the Sheffield United side, but still several key players remain out for Chris Wilder's side, who are, trying to end this poor run they're on the moment. But for Aston Villa, Jack Grealish will miss his third game in a row because of a shin problem, but you don't need fantasy football to know that. Also, Evan Martinez have recovered from a groin strain from that victory over Leeds on Saturday. But Piers, Sheffield United, they really just need to end this poor run they're on. They need to just try and get a positive end to the season. It looks so doom and gloom for them. But Aston Villa here, a victory then will take them 1 point off that Europa League spots. And with games in hand, that would be kind of crucial for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be more of an interesting game than people think. I mean, Sheffield United, they're not going to stay up. I think that's been guaranteed for a little while, to be honest. But they've got to keep some sort of pride on the line. They've got to try and get a win. I don't think they've played too bad in their last few games. They've got a couple of draws and a win, to be fair to them. Obviously, they lost to Liverpool, the champions. So I think that's understandable. Aston Villa, on the other hand, there's a lot on the line here. They can go above teams like Spurs to get into those Europa League places. They've been a little bit hit and miss. I think it was a good performance against Leeds. They probably should have put the game to bed, but a 1-0 isn't bad against a team that scores a lot. So I think Aston Villa will be confident coming into this. They've seemed to still done all right without Grealish, their main man. They've still got plenty of talent in that team. I think I'd be surprised if they keep all those players coming the end of the season for how talented they are. So I think Villa will get in there. I think they'll get the job done. I think they'll get them up the table. I'm going to go 2-1 to Villa.
So it's Crystal Palace versus Manchester United today. And for Crystal Palace, Wilfried Zaha is still out. That's now 4 games in a row that he has missed now with a thigh injury, but he might be fit for the weekend, Roy Hodgson has said. Also, Jeffrey Slupp has recovered from a thigh problem, but Connor Wickham is available once again for Palace. But for Manchester United, Edson Cavani could return after missing Manchester United's past 3 games with a muscle problem, but Paul Pogba still remains out for Manchester United. But Piers here, Crystal Palace, they've actually bounced back quite well from having those 2 losses in a row, a win and a draw. They were quite lucky, I think, to get a draw out of Fulham. I think 16 shots on target for Fulham. They did not score. But for Manchester United, they need to hit back. They've had a very poor run against the top 6 sides. We know how formidable they are away from home. So for them, this is really a game where they just need to hit back.
Yeah, good game for both sides to try and come in. Obviously, Manchester United have been a little bit flat as of late. I think that Chelsea game, they had a couple of chances, especially towards the end, that they could have put away. But with Cavani coming back, that will only boost the side. They do look good in attack. It's just the finishing for them. Palace, on the other hand, looking to bounce back, picking up some form. Just not losing after those two. Obviously getting a win against their rivals, then a draw. It's looking better for them. Obviously, in the reverse fixture, Palace got the win over Manchester United, but I think with Cavani coming back and Manchester United didn't play terrible against Chelsea. If they play a team like Palace, I would imagine they'll get the win. So I'm going to go for a Manchester United win. I'm going to go for 3-1 to United.